In 1964, a woman was attacked outside her New York apartment for over half an hour. Dozens of neighbors reportedly heard her screaming. Nobody called the police in time. Now here's the question that should actually bother you. If you'd been one of those neighbors, would you have called? You're already saying yes in your head. Everyone does. And that's exactly the problem. This case became famous under the name kittygenovese, and for decades it was cited as proof that city life had made people cold and indifferent. A later New York Times investigation found the original reporting had been significantly exaggerated, and some witnesses did try to intervene. But the psychological pattern the case pointed toward turned out to be very real, and it's been replicated in careful lab experiments ever since. It's called the bystander effect, and it says something deeply uncomfortable about human behavior. The more people who witness someone in distress, the less likely any single person is to actually help. That sounds completely backwards. Surely more witnesses means more chances someone steps in. Psychologists John Darley and Latané tested this directly in 1968. They put participants in separate rooms, supposedly having a group discussion over an intercom, when one voice suddenly appeared to have a medical emergency. When participants believed they were the only one who could hear it, 85% rushed to help almost immediately. When participants believed 4 other people could also hear it, that number dropped to just 31%. Same emergency, same person in trouble. Wildly different response. So what's actually happening in that gap? Psychologists point to 2 forces working together. The first is called diffusion of responsibility. When you're the only witness, the responsibility to act sits entirely on you. When there's a crowd, that same responsibility quietly splits across everyone present, and somehow shrinks in the process. Everyone assumes someone else has already called for help, or is better positioned to act. The second is called social proof, or sometimes pluralistic ignorance. In an ambiguous situation, people glance around to see how others are reacting before deciding how to respond themselves. If everyone else looks calm, you assume it's probably fine, even while everyone around you is quietly thinking the exact same thing. A whole room can privately believe something is wrong, while outwardly appearing completely unbothered, purely because everyone is copying everyone else's blank expression. You've almost certainly experienced a small version of this yourself. Someone collapses on a crowded street. A car alarm blares for 20 straight minutes while people walk past. A student sits alone and visibly upset in a busy hallway. In the moment, it's remarkably easy to assume someone else will handle it. And here's the detail that makes this genuinely dangerous rather than just an interesting psychology fact. Bystander effect studies have shown the exact same pattern shows up in medical emergencies, workplace harassment, online abuse, and even people drowning in full view of crowded beaches. The good news is that psychologists have also found a remarkably simple fix. If you're ever in a crowd during an emergency, point directly at one specific person and assign them a task. Not, someone call an ambulance, but you, in the blue jacket, call an ambulance now. That single act breaks the diffusion instantly, because responsibility no longer has anywhere to hide. So here's the thought worth sitting with. You believe, right now, that you would be the one who helps. Almost everyone believes that about themselves. But the data says otherwise, and it doesn't care how good your intentions are. It only cares how many other people happen to be standing next to you.